Listen, when you grow more and more in consciousness, when you grow more and more in energy and spirit, one thing that will happen to you is that your paradigm of the world will get broader, right? It will just, you will just see things from a wider perspective, like everything that you're seeing right now. However, you're seeing things from a much more wider perspective. What that basically means, when you zoom out, when you see things from a different paradigm, what that basically means is that you see all the fake games, you see all the fakeness around you. You see how people are trying to manipulate each other. You see how people are promoting certain stuff that is bad for you. You see the poison in our foods. You start seeing more stuff like that. However, one of the most important things you see within this zooming out and detaching from stuff is that you see everything around you is merely a reflection of what you hold inside your mind, right? And what I mean by this is that you need to understand that you, who you think is you, your consciousness, right? You hold stuff in your mind, right? And what you hold in your mind will tend to unfold in reality, right? And so if you hold thoughts of fear, if you hold thoughts of love or any emotion, it will tend to manifest in reality. It will tend to unfold in this play called reality, right? And so what I want you to understand by that, it doesn't just need to be conscious, right? You can do the conscious option. You can be like, oh, I want love, I want this, I want that. However, with that being said, you need to realize that there is a lot of unconscious forces, there's a lot of subconscious forces which are letting your life unfold how they want it to, right? And one of the most important topics which I really like to talk about is when it comes to healing, right? Because if you look around you, everyone is focused on getting more muscle, getting more money, getting more this, they're in the paradigm of wanting more stuff and getting more stuff. What about the energy, the negative, dark childhood patterns that you've been going through your whole life and they haven't been healed? What about them, right? And so what I want you to realize is that instead of focusing on getting more stuff, we need to focus more on healing the stuff that is already there. And the reason why people might attract stuff that they might not want is mainly because they are subconsciously attracting that thing, right? An example I can give you is me, right? When I say I've researched about psychology a lot, so I can actually come out here and speak about it, and I've experienced the same thing as well. One of my experience with this is that whenever I'm feeling low down, right, whenever there is stress outside of my life, it kind of triggers something in my subconscious. What I tend to do is I tend to regress into my old habits, and one of those old habits is, let's say, video games. We are playing as Miles Morales. So as you can see, I have a crime up here on the screen. Wait a minute, are we going to get copyright for this? No. I tried playing FIFA or I tried playing Spider-Man because that is what I used to do when I was young. And so that is the habit which I go back to if I'm feeling that stress. If I feel triggered, I go back to those habits. And so the key term you need to learn right now is called regression. Regression is basically when you go back to your old patterns that you used to do when you were a little lesser advanced than what you are right now, right? Let's say you're facing some and so let's say, for example, you're facing some stress in your life right now. What will happen is your mind will automatically go to those old patterns again, and you will find more comfort in that, because you will think of the time, oh, I remember when I used to be a child and I used to play this game, or I used to go outside and do this and stuff like that. And it's basically a pattern your mind uses in order to calm things down to how they were before. And one of the things what I want you to realize is that when you understand this, you see the broader perspective in this, right? You see that life is not linear. When you see that life is not linear and it doesn't go like this, it goes in ebbs and flows like that, right? I'm gonna put a diagram there. It goes like that, right, basically. And so when you realize that, you see that you are independent of that as well. You're not the person that is going through a bad time or going through a bad time. You're simply observing the good time or the bad time happen. And plus, how do you know if it's a good time or a bad time? It's because you're putting your own subjective opinions on the time, right? And what I want you to realize is that what you've been told about who you are this type of person, you're that type of person, you are not that, because people have been telling you to identify with what is worldly. However, you need to realize there are consequences when you attach yourself to what is on the outside, right? Chances are you will be attached to that, and once that thing has been taken away from you, your state of vibration will lessen. Whatever you have on the inside, right, will unfold into reality. And so with this knowledge in mind, what you need to do is try focusing more on the subconscious beliefs that you have. Because most of the patterns that happen in reality is not because of what you're focused on, it's because of the things which are beneath the surface, right? So because of the stuff that is beneath everything. However, you need to understand that a lot of the stuff is happening beneath the surface. So let's say you're attracting tough time towards you. Chances are that tough time is needed for you to go through the next stage of who you are. And besides that point, if you think that I'm a bad person because this happened to me and that happened to me, you shouldn't feel bad, because there was a need for that situation to happen for where you want to go, right? Wherever you want to go, right, there needs to be something of good and bad. And so if you have a destination in mind, let's say the destination right here, you can't expect to go on a straight road and just get there. There needs to be turns and blah, 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 and you're gonna get there eventually. However, if you think that if you're gonna get there like that, you need to change your mindset, right? And think, you know what, I will get there. However, I will face trials and tribulations, and that is just part of the journey. And so with that being said, how do you actually go about facing that stuff, right? How do you actually face those challenges, right? One of the most important things which I've realized in most recent terms is that you need to realize and accept, right? You need to just accept what you're going through. You need to accept all the emotions you're feeling without really labeling. Oh, I'm feeling sadness, I'm feeling that, I'm feeling that, I'm feeling that. Don't label what you're feeling, but just accept whatever comes up, because that is the most important step. Because is anyone gonna accept a feeling that you're feeling for you? No. And so you need to realize that you need to do that stuff for yourself first. That is one of the most important steps, self-acceptance and accepting where you are in order to go where you want to go. That is one of the most important steps when it comes to really understanding consciousness and understanding how this game really works, right? And so thank you for watching this video. I hope this really helped you, and I'll see you in the next one.